We need to get something straight regarding cancel culture and the right. The right is not engaging in cancel culture. In fact, no one, in regards to the Charlie Kirk assassination, is engaging in cancel culture. There's been a bit of a stretch as to what the definition of canceling is, to the point that it has somehow, people have tried to move it into this sort of generic realm where it just means getting someone fired or taking something valuable away from someone. That's not what canceling means. To understand this, we must go back into the 2010s. This has been going on for 12 or more years. A cancel mob was something where a bunch of typically rabid, far left, feminist, whatever you want to call them, social justice warriors, but almost universally leftist-leaning political people, mostly of college age, very angry about the world, very angry about anyone that disagreed with them, would go dig up information on someone. Most often this was tweets from 10 or more years prior. They would find whatever they could on someone that they could somehow twist to be negative. They would take that information, they would often lie about it or completely change the context or strip the context to maximally make it useful as an ideological weapon against that person. They would not use this weapon to say you're a bad person. They would instead start harassing their employers, their family members. If they could find out where their bank accounts were located, they would harass the banks. They would do whatever they could to put intense pressure on all of the social, financial, and business connections of the person that they were targeting to ruin their lives. That is canceling. What's going on right now is not canceling. See, if I'm here at work, which I am here at work, and if other people were working with me, and the person beside me heard that some guy who goes around to colleges talking to people he disagrees with got shot in the neck by some psycho, and in front of his entire family, in front of all of these people that were just there to hear what people had to say, if someone beside me over here said, "Hey, really? This guy got shot? Awesome! I am so happy. I am very happy to hear that this man was assassinated publicly in front of his wife and 2 children. I am very happy to hear that this person was given the ultimate punishment that you got, that was over a disagreement because somebody didn't like what he had to say, or a bunch of people didn't like what he had to say. I am super duper happy about this." If that guy said that, that's a bit of a problem for me now, because I have to work with this guy. And what has this guy just told me? Indirectly, of course, but what has he told me? Hey, I'm working with you, I'm here with you, but hey, if you disagree with me, I'm fine with you being murdered. If you got murdered for disagreeing with me, it'd be okay. That's what he's saying. Or she. It often seems to be she, in fact. Strange how that works out, isn't it? It seems to be the women and the peoples of color that are going on the internet publicly bragging that somebody got shot, and then often a lot of them will say, "Shoot this guy next." But if I have to work with that person, they are dangerous to me. Because now, if I trusted them, I know I can no longer trust them, because I thought that we shared the basic values of our culture. One of the basic values of the culture in America is you don't kill people. It's up there, like everybody who is adherent to the most fundamental ideals of the United States. Everybody who's Christian too, supposedly. Death by someone else's hands is not supposed to be something that you do. And even in cases where there are exceptional circumstances, that guy over there tried to kill me, so I killed him first before he could get the gun to fire or whatever. He presented a clear and present danger and I stopped him. I killed him because he was about to kill me, and he would have succeeded had I not killed him first. Even those exceptions, some people think, should not be exceptions. Now, I, of course, am not a moron. I know that there have to be such exceptions. You have to be able to defend yourself. In the end, everything comes down to the capacity to enact violence. Your ability to be free is hinging on the ability to enact violence. The problem is, if you do not enact violence responsibly, what ends up happening is exactly what you're seeing here. You have the power to hurt other people. If you choose to hurt other people, or if you express openly that hurting other people is something that fits with your values, I don't want you working next to me every day. Because what happens if I happen to say something that you don't agree with? Now, of course, you're probably not likely to just come in here and blow my head off with a .22, which isn't possible, I don't think. But you're not going to come in here and shoot me. Okay. Maybe not. Maybe that's an irrational take. Of course that's an irrational take. For most people, they're going to say, oh, you know, this is a great thing that this guy got killed, because all my ideological circles, But they're not going to actually come in here and enact violence themselves. But what happens if I disagree with this person and they suddenly change on me? What if now they decide they're going to go to HR every time I do something wrong, or they're going to try to spread gossip about me, or they're going to try to get me fired, whatever? I don't know that this person can be trusted anymore. Will they use information that they get on me to hurt me? Even worse, will they start their own cancel campaign against me behind my back, perhaps under a pseudonym on the internet? Will they come after me in some way that I can't directly tie back to them just because they're this way now? I thought that they shared the notion that maybe we shouldn't kill people. Maybe hurting people is a bad thing in general. Maybe without someone trying to harm you, you harming them is a bad thing. But no, this person is now a clear and present danger in some way, shape, or form. And if nothing else, they cannot be trusted to not harm me, because they've already made it clear, loud and clear, that they're totally fine with the most sinister punishment for mere disagreement. So no, it is not cancel culture when someone beside you at work, or someone that you work with, or whatever, it is not cancel culture to tell the business that someone works for that the person that is working for them is dangerous to the people that they're working with now. And if you think that it is, it's only because you need it to be. You need to equivocate left-wing cancel culture, which has been a bad thing since its inception. The whole mobbing and trying to destroy an individual because you don't like them. You need to equivocate that with what has happened here. You need to say that, oh, anybody who is going after people, who is reporting people to their employers for saying that they love murder on the internet, that's also cancel culture. That's totally cancel culture, you guys. Because you need those things to be morally equivalent so that it can't be used against you when you enact your little political agenda here. Whenever you call for violence, whenever you say violence is good, it needs to not be punished. But if I say violence is good, or I say that something bad should happen, somehow that's bad. It's a double standard, and the truth is, these people, if they didn't have double standards, they'd have no standards at all. Let's just be completely honest. These people have no standards. Their standard is, I can do what I want. You can't do anything that I don't tell you is okay. And that's not a way to live, because all it takes is two people for that to completely go sour. Because if this person and this person disagree, and they have these mutually non-resolvable conflicts, what's the answer? What's the only answer to that? They can either walk away or they can shoot each other. And these people have said that they're totally fine with being the one to throw the punch. They're totally fine with conflict resolution, meaning that they just, do something bad to you or your family, or try to get you fired or whatever. Harming you is okay. Harming them is not. That's what's really happening whenever people on the left say, I thought the right was against cancel culture. And the thing is, it's not the right at this point, okay? A lot of your leftist buddies are the ones reporting you to your workplace. A lot of your leftist bosses are the ones firing you for saying murder is great. Because the problem is that more and more, this kind of stuff pushes people who are on the left toward the center or the right. It's not a right-wing thing. It's a you psychos and every other person thing. I'm not a right-winger, although I have some beliefs that might be classified as such. In fact, just to give you an idea, I think that the psychos on the Supreme Court made a massive mistake when they said that the Texas age verification bill was okay, and they used a different standard of scrutiny that should not exist in order to do so. Somehow, when it comes to pornography, somehow that magically gets different scrutiny than if it doesn't, even though it doesn't make any sense, both under their own rules and the fact that that scrutiny shouldn't exist. And that position is not a very right-wing position to take. Right-wingers typically hate pornography, even though they watch it all the time. You get the idea. So, this whole thing where it's cancel culture, it's not cancel culture. It's never been cancel culture. If you get fired because you say something psychotic on the internet and people no longer feel safe working around you, you got fired for being an idiot. That's not some kind of thing where a mob is coming after you. You chose to get fired. You should have known. But you have made it clear through your posting that publicly to the internet that you have no filter. You have no semblance of, no notion that somehow what you say should be at least context dependent, if not just maybe you don't say certain things publicly. Even if you think it's a good thing the guy got shot, if you're a sane person, if you're a stable person, if you're a relatively safe person to be in the company of, you don't go on the internet and tell everybody on the internet that you think it's a great thing that someone got shot in the neck in front of his family. That's just not the kind of thing that anybody should be around should be doing. So no, you didn't lose your job because of you were canceled by some right-wing cancel culture that doesn't exist. You lost your job because you're a psycho. And you need to just own up to it. I'm guessing this is the first time in any of your lives that you've ever been held responsible for something stupid that you've done. This is probably the first time that you've done something wrong and you haven't been able to get out of it by complaining to the manager, or complaining to HR, or complaining to your mommy and daddy, or complaining to whoever the hell will listen that you could manipulate that had power. For the first time, you're facing consequences for being a bad person. Maybe stop being a bad person instead of going on the internet and telling all of us that we're bad people for not letting you be bad people. This is what I have to say to all of you that think that shit's okay. Get the fuck off my internet. Go fuck yourselves.